Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 13th of July. With McShane, we're reading through Matthew's Gospel, today chapter 24, the chapter hard reading where Jesus pronounces the woes against the scribes and Pharisees. Looking at the fourth woe from verse 23, Jesus says, "Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, cumin, but you've neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel." As I read that, I thought it's something that I can relate to, because keeping rules has a certain attraction to it. You need to give a tenth of your everything you've got. And so you go into the garden and you're picking your strawberries. You come in with a punnet of strawberries. Oh, I've got to give a tenth. Put it out. There's 100 strawberries, 10 of those go to God. I'm not sure what you do with them, but you can measure it out and you can tick the box. I've done it. And very often keeping rules, we like to do that because you can tick the box. I've done this. I've said that. But Jesus, as we come to him, it's not about rules. It's about relationships. Because Jesus says you've got to love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and mind and strength. You've got to love your neighbor as yourself. He could have said that you've got to say prayers 7 times a day. You can measure that. That's a rule. Measure 7 times a day. He could have said you've got to pray for at least 20 minutes 7 times a day. Tick the box. You can measure it. It's something you can get your hands around. You've got to pray at least sort of half your prayers have to be in Hebrew and half have to be in Greek. You've got to say the Lord's Prayer 3 times. All those rules and measurements, you can do it. But you've got to love God with everything. And that's much more difficult to get your head around. Like with the saying to the scribes and Pharisees, you need to practice your tithing. Yes, do that. But you've also got to practice justice, mercy, and faithfulness. And again, justice, mercy, and faithfulness are not measurable. They become part of how you live, becomes a mark of your character. And so for me, it's a challenge and it's an encouragement, because how do you love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength? You never can, because you can always do more. You can never reach a point, tick, done that, there, I'm good. There's always more. But also, there's how much is too little? That's not specified either. I don't love God as much as I should, but I love him more than I did. And I do love him. And that is what God is looking for, to love him with all that you've got. And so for us, it's a relationship that you walk with Jesus, you love more, you help him, ask him to shape you more. And in that way, you reflect him into the world. So be encouraged by that thought, to know that as we walk with God, we don't measure it, but we know that we're blessed.